What is the crack, guys? Hope you're all well. This is Finding Yourself with Kyle Duffy, and if you're new here, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you do, please consider hitting subscribe and also checking out my podcast Finding Yourself, which is available up on Anchor FM and Spotify. On my podcast, I talk about all different kinds of topics that I'm passionate for, including movie, TV, sports, gaming, and true crime. Again, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you do, please consider hitting subscribe and follow me along my YouTube and podcast journey. In today's video, I wanted to ask you a simple question. Would you be able to survive a zombie apocalypse? The reason I ask this is I've been asking myself the same question over and over again for the past week and a bit. I'll explain. I've been binge playing a game, to be honest, for the past week, maybe 2 weeks, called Days Gone on the PS5. And I don't know if anyone's played this game before. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you played the game and what you think of it. But in this game, you play a biker who is trying to survive the zombie apocalypse. There's zombies, which are called freaks in the game. There's also factions of different survivors. There's a cult that you have to avoid as well, called the Rippers. And like I mentioned, there's different factions of survivors who are all set up in these different camps. As you travel to each camp, the camp leader will approach you and ask you to carry out several tasks for the camp, including bounty hunting, gathering supplies for the camp, as well as holding off marauders and drifters who try to come in and steal things or kill people as well. So you're kind of like a protection for each one of these camps. And there's maybe 4 or 5 camps in total, and you travel between each one and you stack up credits, which allows you to buy guns at the camp, buy food, and earn the trust of the camp so that eventually one of them can take you in and you have shelter. The character you play in this game is somewhat of a loner. He doesn't want to be part of any camp. He doesn't want to depend on anyone. There's only really one person he trusts, which is his friend who he travels with, who was also in the biker gang with him before the apocalypse happened. So he is very much a loner. But I was just wondering, would you be able to survive a zombie apocalypse? I'm just going through all the things that you have to do in this game, and I would die within the first couple of days, honest to God, just from stupidity alone and laziness as well. I'm so goddamn lazy sometimes, and I think my laziness will get me killed if the zombie apocalypse ever comes. I could honestly see myself dying because of one stupid mistake, like forgetting to load my gun, or not barding up the doors properly on some house that I'm hiding in, or not being cutthroat enough, to be honest. The character that you play in Days Gone, he's very cutthroat, he's no nonsense, he cuts off dead weight. Whereas if I was in the zombie apocalypse, I'd still have my niceties about me. I'd be too nice to say, come on, hurry up, or, you're slowing us down, or even to say you can't travel with me because I'm wary of strangers. So I think I would let the wrong person travel with me, and I'd end up getting either killed and robbed or just left for dead out in the middle of nowhere. That's what my zombie apocalypse would look like. And that's just me being honest. I'd like to think that wouldn't happen straight away. Like, I'd like to think maybe I would survive 10 days, 2 weeks, if I'm lucky. But the first 2 days you're evacuating from your house. Let's just do a hypothetical scenario. First couple of days, zombie outbreak hits. You're going to evacuate. Gather up all your stuff. First of all, I'd gather the wrong stuff. I'd take the wrong shit with me. I wouldn't prioritize stuff for the zombie apocalypse. It'd be like I was going on fucking holiday or something. I'd bring the wrong stuff. That would be my first mistake. So I'm already at a disadvantage just because of my own stupidity. I think that when we get somewhere safe, tiredness will take over and I'll be lazy enough to forget to bar up the windows or bar up the door. And when I go to sleep, I'll definitely be too tired to think about loading my gun just in case someone breaks in. Even if it's not a zombie and it's someone trying to break in to steal our stuff, I don't think I would have the common sense to load my weapon before I go to sleep. One thing I think, the big thing actually I think that would make me a victim in the zombie apocalypse is not being able to change mindset. Like, you look at these zombie apocalypse movies and you look at zombie games, and the main character always just flips the switch, goes into survival mode, and does whatever it takes to survive. Cuts off all emotional ties and makes every decision pragmatically and logically. Cutthroat. How many people will be able to do that once the zombie apocalypse takes over? How many people will be able to not react irrationally or emotionally to these kind of situations. It'd be damn near impossible. And I know you've probably watched zombie movies and looked at the emotionally irrational person or the person losing their shit and said, oh my god, what a stupid character. They're so badly written, or, I hate that person. But that's the most realistic portrayal of anyone in a zombie apocalypse, is the person losing their absolute mind because of what's happening. Yet no one gravitates towards that character. No one ever likes to see themselves as that character and identify with them and say, oh yeah, that's something I would do. We all like to think we're the protagonist in a zombie apocalypse because we all want to be the main characters in our own lives. Everyone is told that you're your own main character. But when it comes to the zombie apocalypse, do you have main character energy? Are you going to be that person who's cutthroat? Are you going to be Mad Max? Are you going to be Shaun of the Dead? Are you going to be that leader? Who would you be in the zombie apocalypse? In my ideal scenario and my fantasy scenario of surviving the zombie apocalypse, I would have my shit together. I would know what to do. I would have a plan of attack. I would make all the right, smart decisions. I would have a tactile mind about it. But in reality, I'd be scared. I'd be scared shitless. And I would make some stupid mistake that I got myself killed or plenty of other people killed. I want to go back to Days Gone for a minute. In this game, there's plenty of realistic scenarios and components that would adapt to a real life zombie apocalypse. First of all, fuel would be a commodity. I think a couple of weeks in, fuel is going to get scarce, and whoever has the most fuel is definitely going to be king of the road, like in Mad Max. And I think, you'd have to be tactile about where you go to try and find fuel. Everyone's probably going to go to the petrol station straight away and try and scavenge as much as they can. But eventually, after time goes by, people will get smarter and be sneakier about scavenging fuel. Another realistic component is food and lack of food. Think about how people will react in the first few weeks. First of all, everyone would think that this is going to blow over. So they're going to ransack as much food as they can and loot shops, get every bit of food in they can to help them survive the next few weeks, and hopefully it'll all blow over. But what if it doesn't blow over? There's no more food left. We'd have to go back to a hunter-gatherer phase. Would you be able to hunt down deer if you needed to, or a bear, or wild animals? I definitely wouldn't. I think that that's where we'll go. In the game Days Gone, the character you play, that's the reality for him. It's maybe 800 days into the apocalypse. There's no more canned food. There's no more food full stop. The only food that's available is wild animals. So hunting is a big yes in this game. So would you be that main character and be able to hunt wild animals to survive? Again, I don't think I'd be able to. I would definitely die that way as well. I would go after the wrong animal and end up getting myself killed. Obviously the main components: weapons, ammunition, transport and shelter. You need all these things to survive. They're not going to be there in droves. You're going to have to scavenge parts for cars, be very handy with your hands, have a great mechanical knowledge and have a mechanical mindset, which I do not have. Again, it's scary the amount of ways I could die in the zombie apocalypse. If ever does happen, I am screwed. Well, Jesus, I think at this stage, it almost seems like I'm listing off 1,000 ways to die. Again, back to Days Gone, I think these are the main components in Days Gone, and they would be the main components in surviving a real zombie apocalypse: ammunition, shelter, transport, weapons. And I don't think there'll be many people who'll be on your side. Civil society would definitely break down. Once everything went to crap, I think there'd be no structure left of civil society. It would die out pretty quickly. And anyone who would try to keep things in line and keep the way of the old world in order, I think they would fail. Because you see it in all these zombie movies, someone trying to make sure that civil society stays alive. They end up getting killed eventually. Hi guys, hope you all enjoyed part 1 of this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and click on part 2, which is available on my YouTube. This is Finding Yourself with Kyle Duffy. Thanks for listening.